چطورین بچه‌ها؟ سازنده ها صداپیشه‌های آواتار با هم دیگه یه پادکستی درست کردن که توی اون میان با هم دیگه در مورد سریال صحبت میکنن. توی این قسمت از پادکستاشون صداپیشه‌های زوکو، کورا و یکی از نویسنده های آواتار آخرین با افزار دور هم دیگه جمع شدن تا در مورد اینکه ساکا و تاپ توی سریال به هم دیگه علاقه داشتن یا نه صحبت کنن. خب منم قراره به این اپیزود ریاکت کنم. اگه به دنیای آواتار علاقه دارین حتما کانال رو سابسکرایب داشته باشین تا ویدیوهای بعدی رو از دست ندین.
Have. Find your balance with a special excerpt from the Avatar Brave New Elements podcast.
Featuring our guest, Faith, Aaron, Hicks.
Who do you ship?
خب بیایم ما هم به این جواب بدیم. شما یا رو با هم دیگه توی سریال شیپ میکنید؟ به نظر من ساکا و تاپ به هم دیگه می اومدن، ولی بیشتر من زوکو و سوکی رو دوست داشتم کنار هم دیگه ببینن. نظر شما چیه؟ حتما توی کامنت ها برام بنویسید.
Yeah, I was a little nervous when I saw this question. Honestly, like I like Sokka and Toph. Like I just think they're so cute.
Yeah, you know.
And with apologies to Suki, I don't think they'll get together. Like I don't know. I don't know.
یه سکانسایی هم داشتن توی سریال که انگار سوکی به ساکا علاقه ریزی داره.
I don't know what plans Brian and Mike have. Like I don't predict them getting together, but I absolutely think Toph has a crush on Sokka.
She does, and you see it in this season more than anything.
Yeah.
I think you see it in the season a lot, especially the few episodes coming up.
I think they're very cute.
Toph.
They're
and
extremely
like,
cute.
If you read Imbalance, there's a couple scenes where Toph like punches Sokka on the shoulder, and that was my way of having her show affection to him.
I love it. You're like, speaking of limitations, like, okay, can I get away with like a friendly, loving pat on the shoulder, punch on the shoulder?
تاف اینجوری دیگه محبتش نشون میده.
With a little wink to the fans out there who also ship them. Amazing.
Yeah.
Sokka gets all the girls. Sokka gets all the girls.
یکم عجیب نبود که ساکا هر جایی میره دخترها عاشقش میشن. باید یه کلاس پیش ساکا حتما بریم.
I mean, who doesn't love that guy?
He was absolutely funny guy.
Yeah, he was absolutely my TV boyfriend.
بین زوکو و ساکا میتونیم بفهمیم که دخترها بیشتر آدمای فان رو دوست دارن. پس به جای اینکه بریم باشگاه یکم جوک بگید.
When I was watching the show, I was like, that's for me. That guy right there.
Yes.
Sokka gets all the girls.
Sorry, John.
Sokka.
I was not a Zuko girl.
It's okay, Faith.
He's very
it's
brooding.
okay.
Very
Sokka's
brooding.
my homie, you know. It's okay.
Yeah.
My boy gets all the girls. What am I gonna say?
زوکو اسیدی شده.
That's rough, buddy.
Deep. Exactly. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Exactly right. Exactly right.
The big question, Faith, in the Avatar verse, what kind of bender would you be?
Yeah,
شما اگه توی دنیای آواتار بودین دوست داشتین چه عنصری رو کنترل کنین؟ من دوست داشتم آتش به نظرم خفن بود. مخصوصا سایق افزاری.
I think I'd be an earthbender. Like again,
Shout out to
probably
King.
comes.
افزار.
Yeah, probably my affection for Toph there again, but I really love season 2. You know, I love when the gang goes and explores the Earth Kingdom. I just
Book
think it's
of Earth, of course.
Yeah. I just think the culture is really interesting.
من بیشتر فصل دوم آواتار رو دوست داشتم. فصل 3 هم خیلی خفن بود، ولی فصل 2 بیشتر قسمتایی داشتیم مثلا اپیزود آشنایی با تاف، معرفی تاف، اپیزود زوکو تنها، ماجرای باسینگ سر. شما کدوم کتاب بیشتر دوست داشتین توی 3 فصل آواتار؟ توی کامنت ها بنویسید.
I love the stories that are set in Ba Sing Se, and I love the idea of being able to chuck rocks.
That's cool.
Yep.
I mean,
Simple
good
as
people
that.
out there in the Earth Kingdom. Good people in the Earth Kingdom.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Some very good
Thank
people.
you. Thank
Strong
you for that,
people.
Dante.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. Are we ready to jump in, you guys?
Yeah, but
Yeah?
do you want to take just remind us where we are, just in case anybody's
Okay.
like jumping in.
Before we jump in, let's talk about what happened before the Panda Lady episode, which we're about to discuss. A quick look back of what happened is basically we just watched the headband, which we discussed with the episode writer, our pal John O'Brien, giving us an inside track on things. Team Avatar disguised himself as Fire Nation kids, leading Aang to end up in school, which ultimately resulted in the gang throwing a secret dance party a la Footloose-ish vibes. And with that said, what can we look forward to in this week's episode?
Well, First of all, I just want to take this opportunity to point out my painted
چه
lady
تیشرت
shirt.
قشنگی.
I
Hey.
believe this was another fan
بانوی
winner
رنگی.
from Box Lunch that like Mike and Brian had a hand, or Brian had a hand in choosing. But I love my painted lady shirt. We
Beautiful.
see obviously that there is this very special spirit who is represented by one of our gang in the process of the gang coming across this village that is dealing with a serious pollution problem, unfortunately courtesy of the Fire Nation Army, and then Katara decides that she wants to participate. So that's really what the episode is about. It's incredibly environmentally conscious. It's got a great message. It was written by our buddy Josh Hamilton, directed by our other buddy Ethan Spalding, and let's get into it. Dante, you want to start us off?
Let's go. This episode opens with Team Avatar making its way down what I think we can all agree is a pretty mucky river. There's no flying happening here. Appa is slowly swimming through the water, which at first Aang seems to have no problem playing in. It's pretty disgusting. I was like, what's going on? Until he slowly comes to the realization that he's basically been swimming in sludge. Pulling a classic Aang airbending technique, he just kind of airbends everything off himself and onto his friends, by the way. Everyone agrees that the polluted river is a problem, including Sokka, who can't catch any fish. They're going to have to deviate from Sokka's master plan to find some other source of food, but luckily they happen upon a small fishing village in the middle of this mucky river. Unfortunately, this means Appa and Momo are relegated to becoming hills, just kind of funny.
Not a whole lot with Appa and Momo in some of these episodes of the Fire
just take a
Nation.
little
They're
nap
harder to
underneath.
hide.
چطور زیر سبز و آپا اون همه ساعت نفس میکشید؟
Yeah.
I know. You gotta hide those earthbending animals. Anyway, they meet an old dude named Doc. And if it helps, you can see the spelling of his name. Get it? They're on a dock.
D-O-C-K, yeah. All
Doc,
right.
who takes them from the shore to the village while explaining that the Fire Nation Army opened a factory nearby to make their metal for warfare. And surprise, surprise, it has had a devastating effect on the environment around it. The village is now struggling to survive, and we see just how bad things have gotten in the faces of the villagers. Katara wants to help them, but Sokka...
این اخلاق کاتارا هم دوست داشتم که هر جا میرفت سعی میکرد به بقیه کمک کنه. کاش فی لایو اکشن هم جزئیات رو رعایت کرده باشن توی کاراکتر پردازیش. یه فصل اول لایو اکشن که زیاد اینطور دیده نمیشه.
Is trying to be more utilitarian and stay on task. They buy some pretty nasty looking fish from a guy who looks especially like Doc, but
چند شخصیتی بود پیرمرده.
now his name is Shu, and he has a different hat on. And we think it's Doc's brother for about 30 seconds before we realize it is Doc with a different hat on. But before we can ponder what's going on there, a small boy asked Katara for some food, and they bought 3 fish, and then she gave him one of her fish to take to a sickly woman, which was very sad. But even that fish looked pretty dirty. All that food looked dirty.
Great.
Very rough, buddy. That's
a
very
bad
rough,
scene.
that whole area.
It's a bad scene. It's super sad. And so we see that Katara and Toph can clean the water that they're using to cook with through waterbending and earthbending, which is great. Obviously, that's not something that can work for the entire village. But Sokka's stressing out about this tight schedule that they're trying to keep in order to get the Fire Lord during the eclipse, which we now learn, and I feel like this is a tossed away, but did we know that the eclipse only lasts 8 minutes? I guess we must have, but that felt somehow like new information to me in the moment. I was like, 8 minutes? Okay, right, all right, that's not very much time. And they're going to have to make up time to get back on track. But think again, because the next morning...
8 دقیقه هم زمان زیادیه برای شکست دادن پادشاه آتش، ولی خب همونطوری که میدونیم
seems very sick. It's probably a good time to mention that Sokka doesn't get to be a very sympathetic character during most of this episode. I'm so sorry, Sokka, but he's a taskmaster in this episode. Not a lot of empathy going on. Anyway, Appa's tongue is this weird purple color. We don't know if the pollution did that to him. So the gang heads into the village to try to find him some medicine. And when they get there, the villagers seem much more like very spirited and happy. And the gang finds out that this mysterious painted lady delivered them food last night. They find out she's a river spirit who watches over the town during times of need. And Sokka is like, great, cool, this is perfect, actually. We don't have to worry about these guys because the painted lady's got him covered. But there's no medicine for Appa, right? So they're still going to have to stay another night. And then this night, we actually get to see the painted lady float across the river to the village. It's very mysterious. It's very beautiful. She appears to be creating some sort of healing energy, you know, like a blue light, maybe for the sick villagers, or something vaguely familiar about what's going on. The little boy wakes up and sees her and thanks her before she disappears again. But we do catch a glimpse of the spirit's face, and it does look a little bit like someone we know. Yeah, interesting. And then just a little bit of a share me the details moment. And if you have the DVD extras of Avatar, you may already know this, but Sokka's master schedule that he is referencing is actually based off the Avatar production schedule. Okay, it's like the real Avatar production schedule just shrunk down, which is an amazing tidbit. Gotta love those. Gotta love those share me the detail moments.
Assuming that'll fit into Sokka's master schedule.
It's doable, but that means
برنامه‌ریزی دقیق و زیادی داشته ساکا. مرسی که این ویدیو تا آخر تماشا کردین. اگه دوست دارین بقیه پادکست‌های آواتار رو هم ریاکت بریم، حتما توی کامنت‌ها برام بنویسید. اگه این ویدیو هم دوست داشتین، حتما لایک یادتون نره. ویدیو بعدی see you.